What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the RCP Podcast. It's your boy Looney with Zero, Gray, and Sleepy. We are the RCP Crew, and we have a special guest with us today. Our boy, alias War Bandit. Say hello, War Bandit.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Oh, happy to have you, man.
Not often that, I actually get to make it to these things. So
yeah, absolutely.
You're not welcome. Who said that?
Yeah, don't be careful. Zero is on your ass.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Every chance he gets, good freak.
Zero, buddy, come on. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing wonderful today. How about yourself, Lou?
I'm good. Sleepy, say hello to the people.
Hey, how you doing?
A little bit more lively, sir. Lively. Is the drowsiness affecting you?
How the hell are you? Hope you're having a wonderful time.
No, there
That's
it
right.
is.
You smile. You smile when you speak to me.
No, so that's you're the racist. I'll allow you not to smile. I'm nice like that.
Show me all your teeth.
Well, gentlemen, since we had an interesting conversation off camera, and Zero, that interesting viral video from was it Kevin Samuels, I believe?
Correct.
That's very interesting. The Your Average at Best event went viral. It's right now on his YouTube channel. It's over 200,000 views.
It had over 7 million views when it came to World Star Hip Hop.
Oh, cause that's World Star, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So give us a quick rundown, and we can discuss.
Okay, the rundown. Kevin Samuels is an image consultant. What that means is that he tries to make sure that you're the best version of you. So normally he started only dealing with men, then he started dealing with men and women. And the specific video that I'm speaking about that went viral was a young lady called in on his show, and she had an option to pay him to have a private session or stay on, use the time that she was given, but he was able to upload the video for the public to see. She
One quick
decided to do
caveat.
the latter. Go ahead.
You're playing fast and loose with the word young when you're talking about that lady.
So, this nigga here.
It kind of all off track.
So Kevin and her have a conversation on having a high value man, and what a high value man is a man that makes over 6 figures. And so that's where it starts. The reason that it went viral is because by the end of the conversation, that the woman wasn't taking in the information properly to where she could just what she has to offer, she could afford something average, but she didn't want to accept that. And I'm not saying average is bad. Mostly everybody's average. Only the top 10% of men make over $100,000. So when she prefaces, well, I want somebody that makes that, the entire 90% of men that are in this country, she says, I don't want to even think about that they exist. I don't see them. But go ahead, gentlemen. What are your thoughts on that?
I thought it
One
was.
thing I do want to point out. Oh,
Go
you can go ahead.
Go ahead, Greg. Go ahead.
Thank you. One thing that I do want to point out, which I absolutely loved in the video, was like how he said most of the time when he gives this advice, women don't listen. So he said to the girl, he's like, I want you to listen to what I say and digest it. Don't just hear and then like give your reply. Take it in and digest it. And like she did exactly what he said most women do, because he was like, listen, you're not worth like a top 10% man's time. And she's like, but I was like, no, did you hear what I said? These are the words I'm giving you. I need for you to hold on to these, digest them, make sure you understand them. It's like, but there's more to me. I'm special.
No, my thing was he asked her some open-ended questions about herself. The funny thing is that she one of the questions he asked her, what do you believe you can bring to the table to men? And she started off by saying something along the lines of, well, I can help them with their business and career and oriented, and mid sentence it just switched to all about me. And his face in the video was priceless because he just could not believe that her statement completely 180'd, and she was just talking about herself, not what she can provide or what value she can give to any man, but it would just became all about her. And I'm surprised because I'm looking at her and she seems like a lovely lady, but she didn't understand, like, it didn't process in her head that she's completely switched her statement to all about herself as opposed to answering the question. Shit was hilarious.
You know what? I have a couple of takeaways from this. Number one, everybody's definition of value in this, like in terms of like what she values as a man, like why does it come down to money? Number one, if it was a guy in that situation, nobody really thinks about money. To be honest, we don't. But just to piggyback off of what you said, my other issue was when it became, okay, what do you bring to the table? Like, she immediately goes into, I can help a man with, with getting his business started and, getting it running good. I'm business minded, business oriented. And I just thought it was funny. It was almost hypocritical because one of the things that she said was how anytime she meets a guy and when she's dating down, which I hate that phrase, but anytime she meets a guy when she's dating down, is like one of the biggest issues she has is when she says, "Oh, I have a business," they immediately go, "Oh, well, can I, how do I, like, can I invest in this? How can I help you out? Can I get, like, in on it, et cetera, et cetera." Okay, if you don't want them, like, I understand you wanting the business to yourself, but if you don't want them to have anything to do with your business, why should they want you to be part of theirs if they're starting one?
Yeah,
like,
that
so why is that the only thing that you have to bring to the table?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me either. It's like, okay, take myself for example. Me and my partner, we have our own thing going. You know what I'm saying? Like, she got her thing, I got mine, and then we also help each other out, and we pool our resources together if need be. But aside from that, my thing is mine, hers is hers, and we've agreed upon that. That shouldn't come in between your actual relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least that's how I see it.
Exactly. So, like, how can I put this? One of the biggest issues that I have from this whole situation is the reason why I said I hate it when I hear women say dating down. Yo, man, even when we don't have that much money, even if the girl that you're dating has a better job than you, at a certain point, if you're being a gentleman, you end up spending way more money and investing way more money in them just because you're like, hey, I'm being a gentleman. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
considered normal. That's the standard.
Well, yeah, but that considers the type of man you're referring to, because there's a lot of dirtball dudes out there too.
There are, but what I'm talking about is if we're referring to like the stereotypical guys that they all talk like they want. This is and if you're talking about gender roles and all that other stuff, that's generally how it was done previously, right?
Yeah,
so if you were to go by that, it's like, okay, yeah, even if I don't have that much money, I still, while you're sitting there, men have always had the issue that women with money are realizing that they have, which is they feel like they are being used. When it comes down to it, you feel like you're being used. You're making 100,000 or more,
She
and you're
didn't.
like, he isn't living up to my standards. They want to be part of what I have. They should have their own stuff, right?
Yeah, basically, she didn't actually say her exact
She didn't actually
income.
say
She
that.
said six figures.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, she said, but that's 100,000 plus,
Mhm.
six figures. So,
Yeah, see, that's one thing I was gonna question. Like, is that net or is that gross?
or
Like,
yeah, like so, but like if you have an issue with that, like you're now sitting there like, okay, I make X amount of money, I make more money than this guy. You're now at this point of, I feel like I'm being used. He should be bringing more to the table. Yo, even when we aren't rich, men a lot of times feel that way. Like, but that's so. Look, I'm not rich. I've dated plenty of people who I've looked at and been like, yeah, you might be a gold digger. Like, and you move on. You know what I mean? So it's weird. It's like, yo, when you get money, because we're talking about equality here, and I know
No,
that
we
would
don't have that
I
concept.
was about to say,
No,
I know that's gonna
no.
get zero right there. Like,
No. We're not doing that today, nigga. We're not doing that today, nigga. I refuse.
but I'm saying it because it's what they want. It's what they say they want. It's not what they want, but it's what they say they want. And so if that is the case, yo, that's the cost of doing business. Like, that's what comes with, hey, you got that six figures coming in. Yo, that's the cost of doing business. You got money now. This is what happens. Like, I'm sorry. Shoot, when I was just starting out of high school and dating some other normal person who didn't have anything, it's like, oh, they'd be like, hey, can you help me out with this? Maybe. Like, that's it. It's like, you just, like, men are used to having to gauge that whole, like, whether or not you're going to be used in the scenario. And I think that a lot of times women, once they get to this point, they're still putting value on a dollar, whereas when you get money, instead what you should be valuing is that person, what they do for your life, in terms of you getting the lifestyle that you want and making sure that they're a good person. They're valuing the wrong thing. Is basically what I'm getting.
Well, okay, Sleepy, go ahead, because I want to. There's like two counter arguments that I want to bring up real quick. Go ahead, Sleepy. What is your thoughts on that video?
Well, for one, I'd like to say I think the guy was actually being maybe not the nicest, but he was being honest and he wasn't trying to be a dick. For those who really think he's being rude,
He was trying hard not to be a dick.
nice. No. He was being as nice as he needed to be because, like I said in the very beginning, he pointed out to her, "This is what they normally do. I'm giving you this console for free, so like I need you to just take my advice." And she just sat there, "But I'm better. I'm better. I'm better." You called yourself a 5, which means you actually think you're a 4. Like, get out of here.
Yo, I think he was nice. The only thing that I think anybody could have possibly really been upset about was his tone, but what he said was as nice as he could have said it. Like, to be honest, with still being truthful.
Okay, let me ask Sleepy. Are you finished with your thought?
Sleepy got interrupted.
Yeah, Sleepy got interrupted. Are you finished with your thought, sir?
well, for the most part, I think everything I would have said kind of got covered. Only thing I really add to it would be, I do believe he's trying to get. He did say what he needed to say, and she really seems to be anyway missing the point of him just being nice and being honest, and and other people would say brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he did answer the question, and he said himself, "I'm not like the master of all men. It's not like I can tell you how to rewrite someone's programming, but this is the bottom line. This is what it is, and this is the scenario we have, and this is what we got to deal with for what our cards are." While you do want someone who more or less is, for lack of a better word, top of the pecking order, you technically don't have enough credentials to be in that order of those who actually want that you're asking for. But that's to say, it's not possible to get a good guy that she will be happy with, but she's gonna have to set her standards a little bit lower, and which in no shape, way, or form is a bad thing.
Look, you guys are all being too nice. She's got to set her standards a lot lower. Like, oh yeah, you make six figures, but looking at you, you are a gas station attendant level.
I still feel sad.
Okay.
Until someone broke me down how much that you make, and ever since then, I couldn't take that thing seriously.
Go ahead, Zero.
Well, the 2 points that I wanted to make, that what men value and women value are two different things. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And women like to say that when Bandit was talking about being equal, they don't want really equality. What they want is special treatment.
Exactly.
Privileges, sir, privileges.
Special treatment, privileges, whatever the case may be.
Mind you, I'm not. I just want to clarify that I am not saying you're wrong at all. I'm not disagreeing with you when I said what I said. I knew you were going to go there, but
No.
I'm just trying
understand that. And so what I wanted to let the audience know, as far as the view, I think everybody on this panel's about the video, was the unrealistic expectations that most women have about their men. Period. Back in the 40s and 50s, women didn't work as much. Now women are in the workforce as droves. And a very popular conversation, I'm going to keep it short, is that, well, they want traditional men that have all the values. That means they pay all the bills, they take care of everything around the house. But when it comes to women investing into the relationship, investing into whatever the man is doing, it's not fair. There is all the responsibility and accountability for the men, but none for the women. And so the reason that I think this video went viral is because it hit home for a lot of women. She was 35. If most people are somewhat red pill, they know the wall is 30. What that means for some people that don't know is that normally when a woman hits about 30, that her value starts decreasing because she can no longer have children safely. Pretty much, that's the nice way of putting it. And so when we look at that and we look at her as a caller coming in saying she's 35, and all the things that Kevin said were accurate. The last thing I'm going to touch on is tone. People say, well, his tone was off. That's because the equality that we're talking about. Kevin talked to her like he would talk to another dude on the street. Straight up with no chaser whatsoever. And we're not used to that when it comes to women because we want to have empathy for them. Oh, she's a woman. We need to build her up. When some women say that, I'm like, bitch, y'all on the pedestal so high, I need to knock some of y'all motherfuckers down. Because y'all up there.
I'm sorry.
Another reason for him to be the sledgehammer. Just go around. I'm gonna knock the bottom brick out of this pedestal right here.
Hold on. I've been waiting to say something real quick just to go ahead and give a better idea. Now, gentlemen, this is just a centering question, but do y'all love your lives? Do you like being alive? You like living?
Of course.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. Good. So, the reason I bring that up, you all probably already know the ideal that women have. Let's say that you guys are walking, and where you're walking, there's a sidewalk and there's a road beside the sidewalk. What would most women want want the walking position to be? How do you know? How do you think they want that arranged?
They want to be in the inside, being protected from the dangers of the road.
Yeah, and you on the outside, and that's a very common ideal that women have. But I don't like it because I like living. Why do I need to throw my life away? Why can't you just be aware? Why can't we go in single file? I mean, why can't you walk in the grass if you're that pressed about it?
Follow behind me. Something. So, no, but
all right, they're so willing to go ahead and let you throw everything away for them, and a lot of women have that mentality, which is why they think, yeah, I deserve a six-figure man. I deserve what was it? They call it the Three sixes.
How-
6 figures, 6 foot, 6-pack.
Okay. It's the first time I've heard that.
Come on, man. We've talked before. You don't listen to me?
Shut up, nigga.
Only sometimes.
I mean, you talk, bro. You really saying anything?
Yeah, I'm done with all of you. I'm done with all of you.
Love you.
Oh my god. But yeah, like that's a mentality that a lot of women carry around and they think it's okay, but then like at the same time most guys are getting fed up with it because I'll ask another question. How many of you guys think that you've ever been free lunch on a phone before?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
It's
It's
probably
quite, yeah, it's quite a possibility.
Can you explain what that means to the viewers, just in case they don't know, or the listeners? Excuse me.
Oh yeah, it's a very common concept from the male point of view. You think you're going ahead and spending time trying to develop a relationship with somebody, and you'll take them out on dates, dinner dates, lunch dates, whatever. But that female person you're talking to has no interest in you whatsoever. But instead of like saying, "Oh no, I'm not interested," they'll go ahead and be like, "I'll just get this free food and string him along."
Yeah.
And it takes like realizing like some action, catching her with somebody else or something. Like you be thinking like you're on the way into a relationship, and she's like, "We gonna get Chipotle." Like that's it.
Yeah, she
And, like,
she friend zone your ass without you even knowing.
And like the reason I bring it up is because again, that's like the privileges that they're looking for. Because I guarantee you, there's never been a man has been in the position to put someone in their phone as free food and then be a female.
But see that, and that goes back to what I was saying with my point. I'm not gonna go back into it, but we ain't gotta be rich to have that issue. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Right.
we don't.
We don't have to be rich to have that issue.
Shit, you don't even have to be average to have that issue.
You don't.
Below
don't.
average men have that issue.
Like they get the 6 figures and they get issues that every man has, and they're upset.
Well, yeah, that's the equality part that I'm sitting here talking about. It's not really equal. I don't think it ever will be
I
equal.
agree.
Listen,
I agree. But
listen. My personal point of view is, I'm all for equality, but like you said, it's not really equal. If most women, and not all, let's be clear about this. There are a lot of great women out there that have stable mindsets and have realistic expectations no matter who they're dating, whether it's a successful or an average man. There are those
older
women.
you get, the more likely that is. The younger you are, the less likely you're going to find that. I'm
So,
just going to say that. Continue, sir.
so with that being said, as far as the equality issue, is that they claim they want equality, and I'm all for it. I'm behind that. Me personally. But are they ready for what equality really brings? Like real equality. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with all the bullshit that men do, you have to do. Simple. They're not ready for that. They're not ready for that. They want the label of equality while still keeping their special privileges. And again, it's not every woman, but it's most.
So, it's the majority. And like an example I would love to give, just thought of this. If I was in a relationship and my girl was a breadwinner and I had no job and we were going out somewhere and when we were walking to the car, I decided to start an argument because she did not open my door, I would not be in that relationship for like very long. But there are women in the same position, and that is an argument every day. I should be treated like a princess, even though I have no job. I don't clean the house. I stay here eating the food you buy for us and whatnot. But you ain't open my door? How dare you not take the privilege to do that for me?
like,
It's not a thing for guys.
you're absolutely correct. And then one of the issues that I have is the moment a lot of them actually do get a job where they have that kind of money, then they feel like it just throws off a whole power dynamic in the relationship, because then they feel like what you say doesn't matter. I've seen that. I'm not saying that it's everybody. I'm just saying because I know from personal experience with what I've seen people, like certain women do once I got a job and I make more than him now.
Oh, I know the certain woman you talking about.
Yeah, I got a job. I make more than him now. I make the rules. Like, yo, hold up. You know what I mean? Like,
And it bothers some people because that person's been carrying the weight for 10, 20 years. And then now that you start making some money, then it becomes a problem. But see, that's where when I talk about equality and true equality and accountability and responsibility. Because when it don't matter to me, it don't matter male or female. We're a team. We are one. So for me specifically, my standpoint is that as a man, I'm going to be leading, and the reason that is because if anything bad happens, I'll take the brunt of it. My family may get a little bit of it, but I'm going to be taking the brunt. And I think a lot of men have those expectations, but when women get in a position of power, instead of elevating the guy that they're with, they bring him down.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. You're absolutely correct though.
Yeah, well,
there was something else I was about to say about it. There was something else. Go ahead.
on a final note, that shit was fucking hilarious at the end because that dude got so mad. He's like, "Get the hell off my phone!"
Right.
That's
because people waste time.
No, the wasted time, but like he said it in the beginning. Listen to what I said, and then like it was just like she was on the phone. I'd like to order a pizza. We only sell burgers. So the type of pizza I want, ma'am, we only sell burgers. Do you have like a cheeseburger pizza? Get off my phone.
Taco Bell got mad about fries. And then they ended up having the taco fries. Like that's the same kind of privilege. But
yeah.
So I remember the other thing I wanted to say real quick because he told her about all the stuff that she has baggage wise and why people that are making that kind of money are not checking for her, right? And I just wanted to chime in and ask you guys this because like all she kept saying was I make six figures, I make this, I make that. What would it take for any of you guys? Like what is your criteria for if a girl has a kid? What are the things that you're looking for? Is her making six figures on the list?
Not really, no. Not really, no.
No, that girl's money has never been on the list. Like
exactly. Like,
if she's got a kid,
oh my god, it's so backwards. She's got a kid though. So what would it take for you to actually talk to her? Because I feel like that's one of the things that
I mean, chemistry, getting to know her personality, what her values are, so you can make an uninformed, your connection between each other, and just basic stuff, so you can make a valued decision on whether you want to pursue this relationship with this person who so happens to have a child. In my personal opinion, having a child or not has never been and will never be the crux of a relationship. I've always been told, and I've always told other people that just because you have kids, that has nothing to do with your relationship. I mean, it's a big part of who you are, but it's not. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's not the crux of your relationship.
Well, see, now I'm on the opposite spectrum. If a chick's got a kid, then like the only way that I'll seriously talk to her is either one, the dad has full custody and she's got no contact, or two, motherfucker's out the house. Like,
whoa,
kids take up a lot of time, and like, I'm not willing to put in the effort to develop that relationship when I know there's going to be a bunch of times where I'm ignored and it's just going to hamper the relationship.
Like,
well, I mean, like I said, it depends on the person. So, I mean, it is what it is.
So the point of me saying that was basically, it depends on the person, but at no point does money come in.
Yeah.
And everybody has certain values that they look for. And I understand that, if you're making six figures and every chick is trying to talk to you, if you got things going for you. I gotta think that they would be lower on the totem pole unless they just had that chemistry that you were like, you know what, I don't care, I'm gonna go for it. That's it. There's really not a, we don't go, oh no, but she's business minded, she has this. So I just, when it was like, okay, what do you bring to the table, I kind of laughed at that still, because I was like, not only was what she said hypocritical, but it's definitely not something that anybody was worried about. Like, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, as far as the viewers are concerned, tell us what you think. Leave your comments down below about if you've watched this video. We'll leave a link in the description as well on YouTube, so you guys can take a look at the video and see for yourselves. Leave your comments. Join the Discord. Link will be in the description. So, moving on. Has everybody had their time with Cyberpunk 2077? I have.
I'm on the last mission.
So, what do you think so far?
All right, so I'll put this out there. I am playing on a base PS4 because some scalpers won't let me buy my own PS5 at the regular price.
But if you actually did get a regular price and it went as planned, we wouldn't have had the Adventures of Grey and how much I hate this crap.
Look, little kid, you know, you're right. Little kids wouldn't be flinching every time I pass them by in the mall or in Walmart. I'm like, it's okay, little nigga, you ain't holding any large boxes. But no, like, I just want to say, like, I know that the game has been getting a lot of grief, but base PS4 graphics aside, I love the game. I love the story. I love, like, all the player interactions. I love the combat systems. I love all the options that I have for fights. I could either go in loud, go in stealth, just going with my fist. I've spent a major amount of time when I got a really good bat with a lot of damage, just running around, bonk, you're dead, bonk, you're dead.
Yeah, I can honestly agree. I'm also running it on the PlayStation 4, base PlayStation 4, and I've encountered a lot of bugs. Mostly for me, it's only been crashes and some T-poses. But aside from that, from what I've played so far, it's hella fun. So the game definitely has potential. Yeah, I've seen on social media, and it's been reported to hell and back of how many bugs and how unplayable this is on consoles, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are going through this who have a Xbox One or a PS4, and I understand that. My personal experience, there is a lot of bugs in the game, but I haven't found any bugs that would deter me from the experience thus far. I'm like maybe halfway through. And that's only because, like, there's so many goddamn side missions and other stuff to do, and they're all good and fun and engaging. So, like, you know, it's really great.
Yeah, like, go ahead, Sleepy. Sorry.
So far from I haven't played as long as either one of you at the moment. I also got the PS4. Glitches so far. The only two noble ones besides crashing is a cell phone just sitting in the mid-air in a hallway and no one reacting to it, and two pistols hanging out at some point. But other than that, having a pretty fun time.
Sleepy, that's borderline. I'm gonna need you not to be racist against ghosts in the game, all right?
Sir, I'll tell you right now, I'm a very nice person. I'm generous. Everybody can catch these hands. But more importantly, while my initial plan for my playthrough was to go with nothing but running into punching things, I found out about the katana. Besides that, I ain't putting that thing down for nobody. And after playing stuff like much as I love what we went through, Dead Island 1 and Dying Light, as fun as those games are, you have to think about, you know, maintaining the durability of your weapon. To have a katana, not worrying about that thing breaking on you, just keep swinging as long as you got the stamina. It's heavenly.
Oh man, you definitely want to go ahead and max out that stamina tree. Right now, I can swing for days and not have to worry about anything.
My
Yeah,
favorite thing is to crack somebody in the face, let them get stunned, and when they're like, oh, he's not gonna swing at me again. Oh God. But so far, I have a good time. I'll say the good things outweigh the negatives for me, anyway.
Zero War Bandit. You guys tried it yet?
Nah. So I was
Kick him on the chat.
supposed to be trying to watch Gray stream, but he refused to share.
I told you to get your own game. Get your own game. You got the money. You got the time. Get your own game. This is my experience.
Refused.
Niggas like you try to bogart my experience.
Well, yeah, man. So yeah, we all agree though that the launch has been terrible, especially with the CDPR's decision. And remember, guys, like, it's not the developers, it's the executive management level that makes these decisions. The people actually making and working on the game have no say in what or how the game is going to be released, advertised, etc., etc. And they purposely, like, this has already been the last couple of days since the release. It's already been blown way out of proportion, and I understand that with the outrage, because as far as review copies, there's a lot of reviewers that got keys for the game, but it's only PC. And one of the stipulations reported was they could not show their own footage. They can only show pre-rendered footage, and they
Hold
didn't.
on 1 second, Lou, because I'm sorry to cut you off, but I didn't get the answer. I'm not playing the game right now. I made it a conscious decision to wait about 6 months, and before anybody says anything about the state of the game, go fuck yourselves. Because when they denounced they were going to delay it a month, people had spasms, they got death threats,
Absolutely.
and so forth. So for people to say, "Oh, well, I'm disappointed," if they would have taken the time that they needed to make the game better, because I honestly believe 6 months from now, so probably April or March, this game will be phenomenal.
Yeah, I plan to get it on the PS5 also. So.
And same here. I was waiting for the PS5. So if I probably would have had less issues as far as graphically is concerned. But again, we have the PS5s and scalpers. Go ahead, Lou.
Yeah, so and I agree with that too, because we've already spoken about it at length before. It's like people bitching because it got delayed a month. It's like I would have accepted it being delayed as long as it needed to for the polishing and ironing out all these bugs. So now that it's out and it was pushed out, people are bitching and complaining about the state of the game as far as PS4 and Xbox One. It's pretty good on PC if you have a decent spec or high spec PC, and on next gen consoles, it runs fine. Not too many problems for those that have been fortunate enough to get a next gen console. But regardless, it's
fuck scalpers.
Regardless, like it's still, you could see by me playing it, you can still see the potential of the game. It's amazing, even with its problems at release. And if you go back, like, they had this issue also with The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 didn't release on any favorable terms either, but eventually it became one of the best games of all time, my opinion. Till this day, I still play it. Like, it's phenomenal. And you could see the time and effort that they put into that game, which I'm pretty sure they'll do the same here. Now, the thing that I like, aside from, let me go back to my last point, is that, management at CDPR mandated that they couldn't show, reviewers couldn't show their own footage. They couldn't stream their own footage. And they had to use pre-rendered footage that was already public. And they only received PC keys. Not one reviewer, whether it's critic, mainstream critic, or popular influencer on YouTube or whatever, nobody received a PS4 nor Xbox One key for the game to play and review. So they knew what they were doing as far as CDPR management. So this is their fuck up. It's not the developers. And what pisses me off is that the developers, a lot of them have been reported of getting more death threats. People sending them messages and this and that and all this other stuff. Is like they're doing their job. It was not, they have no type of choice on how the game is going to be released, marketed, and et cetera, et cetera. And what's even worse is that I feel bad for the developers because now they're suffering because it was reported that their bonuses are tied to the game's reviews. It's like, what kind of bullshit practice is that? You know what I'm saying? So with the low reviews, there's a possibility that they might not get their bonuses. Now, CDPR did release a statement. So I'm going to read it here. So it says they released a statement on Twitter. Dear gamers, first of all, we would like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on base last-gen consoles before it premiered, and in consequence, not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PS4 and Xbox One. Second, we will fix bugs and crashes and improve the overall experience. The first round of updates has just been released and the next one is coming within the next 7 days. Expect more as we will update frequently whenever new improvements are ready. After the holidays, we'll continue working. We'll release 2 large patches starting with patch number 1 in January. This will be followed by patch number 2 in February. Together, these should fix most of the prominent problems gamers are facing on last-gen consoles. We will be informing you about the contents of each patch ahead of their release. They won't make the game on last-gen look like it's running on a high-spec PC or next-gen console, but it will be closer to that experience than it is now. Finally, we would always like everyone who buys our games to be satisfied with their purchase. We would appreciate if you would give us a chance, but if you are not pleased with the game on your console and don't want to wait for updates, you can opt to refund your copy. For copies purchased digitally, please use the refund system of PSN or Xbox respectively. For boxed versions, please first try to get a refund at the store where you bought the game. Should this not be possible, please contact us. Help me refund cdprojectred.com, and we will do our best to help you. Starting from today, you can contact us for a week up until December 21st. So that's the statement that they made, and I actually like this because it shows more consumer-friendly practices. They're willing to give refunds for people who want their money back and stuff like that, and I'm all for that. Now, here comes the problem. Sony ain't giving that money back. It's already been reported they've been denying digital purchases.
Well, from what I heard, like the first 10 hours they did, like literally the first or second day, but now that it's been so long since the CD Projekt made, how long ago was that statement?
A couple
days. The game has been out for how long?
This was 2 days ago.
Okay. And so I think the game, they did allow it for the first 24 hours, but now since so much time has passed, I think they've axed that. Now, of course, CD Projekt Red can do what they want. It's their property. But as far as Sony, hey, that's another thing that I dislike. I don't pre-order things. This is my personal opinion. I don't pre-order things and expect greatness. I normally pre-order something because I support the studio. So if you're going to get my money ahead of time, because what Ghost of Tsushima, that game, I love the way that game looked. I love the energy. And I also am a fan of, not Insomniac. Who made that?
Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. There we go. Thank you. Sucker. Punch. So I was like, you know what, they're going to have my money day one. So if you're going to get my money ahead of time, because what Ghost of Tsushima, that game, I love the way that game looked. I love the energy. And I also am a fan of, not Insomniac. Who made that?
Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch.
There we go. Thank you. Sucker Punch. So I was like, you know what, they're going to have my money And I haven't even played that game yet. And the only reason that I actually installed it is because of the multiplayer. But that's one thing that bothers me is you know when people when they showed the game off, I already knew it was on PC, and they mentioned it was on PC, and I was like, I know it's nowhere gonna look nowhere as good as it looks on PS4 or Xbox One. So I was just like, I'm gonna go ahead and wait and see because I'm gonna play it on the closest I can get to a PC, which would be the PS5 to me. But go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I completely understand where you're coming from, but I just think that's bullshit, man. If people want their money back, just give it to them. There's all these stipulations, and especially with Sony's PSN regarding their digital purchases is ridiculous. I mean,
well, like Sony has always been like, you gave us your money, we don't see no reason to give it back. Like the top two companies, as far as this is going to be an uphill battle, and you definitely want a lawyer to get this refund, is like Sony and Valve or like Steam. Like they're like, I'm sorry, you want what now? Did he say kill him? Kill him! Who taught him that word? Who taught him that word? Out here teaching words. How dare they? Oh my God! I smack you in the mouth. Like they go on. Like how dare you ask? You dissatisfied with one of our products? That's not our fault. You bought it. You made the decision. Why would we give you your money back? You're obviously making bad decisions. This refund, wherever you learned the word, is a bad decision. Like.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I personally haven't lost faith in CDPR, based on their history, based on the development, the studio itself and the developers. They've clearly made a game that definitely has a lot of potential. Yes, it's full of bugs, especially on the last gen consoles. Yes, it has problems. I've already encountered a few myself, not enough to get me to be raging out uncontrollably for my money back, but I'm still enjoying the game for what it is at the moment, and I'm sure it's going to get better. So I still have faith in them. Based on their history, I know that it remains to be seen if they're gonna take this second opportunity, at least for me, and fuck it up. So with that being said, any last words on this?
This is not Destiny. This is not Destiny. We don't have to worry about that. We know from part of Red that they're going to get it right. We're not talking about Destiny 2 or the Division 2. We're talking about a company. And, the interesting thing about this game is a first-person game. The last 3-4 games they made were third-person.
Yeah.
Completely different beast in general. Yeah. So I want to say I'm very proud of them that they took the chance, the leap of faith, to actually make this game the way they did, and that I know that in time they'll get it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my only complaint about the game, and like this is like a legit complaint, I'm not talking about the graphics, I'm not talking about like the gameplay or anything. I'm not talking about.
I know where he's going.
Let's see. It's a complaint that I've commonly had with RPGs and making your own characters. There are no black hairstyles. I gotta get cornrows, an afro, or dreads. That's the only complaint. Like, some game companies, please hire motherfuckers that know about fades, high tops. Like, hire a black barber. Hire a black barber for a black barber and a black hairdresser. Like, please. I don't see my hair in these games at all. And like, just to get the generic, this is black people hair. I know about black people hair. I went to Jamaica once. Like, that's not it.
Well, on that note,
Also, hold on, wait. One thing, I'm mad the bug is gone. Where like, if you have a grenade equipped and you go to like deconstruct it, you still get the crafting materials and keep your grenades. I'm mad that's gone. I could have used that to get my crafting up. There's so many things locked behind crafting.
Well, on that note, tell us what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you're on YouTube. Join the Discord so we can continue this conversation going. So with that being said, in entertainment news, anybody took a gander at that Disney Investor 2020?
I missed it. Sorry. I know there's a lot of stuff going on, but I'm going to take this time to go ahead and start up Cyberpunk, finish that last mission. You gentlemen have a lovely conversation.
I'm back.
No, I'm still going to be here, but like, I don't think I got like a foot in this race.
Oh, please, nigga. All right, so
You can't. There's only 1-0 in this chat. You can't leave. Like, listen. I have something I
Nigga,
want
this
to
is
talk
your
about.
first time here. I don't hear shit
And
coming from you,
I heard about your shenanigans.
You know what? We don't have to kick War Bandit from the chat anymore. I just realized. You want to join me on Snitch Watch, Frederick?
well, speaking of the Disney investor, I'm gonna specifically focusing on Marvel and Star Wars because I can care less about anything else, even though there were a lot of other stuff non-Star Wars and Disney related. Let's start with Marvel first. So we got the WandaVision confirmed release in January 15th, 2021. Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness will tie with WandaVision. Wanda Maximoff will appear as a co-star in that movie, and also the entire cast of the original will be returning with the inclusion of Xochitl Gomez as America Chavez. That's interesting. I'm kind of surprised they decided to bring in that character. Falcon and Winter Soldier, March 2021 on Disney Plus. Black Widow releases May 17, 2021. Loki, which looked very interesting, based on the trailer that they released, May 2021 on Disney Plus. What If, summer 2021. Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings has wrapped up productions and will premiere in theaters July 9th, 2021. Miss Marvel is in production as we speak. There was no release date for that, but it was mentioned that she will be co-star in Captain Marvel 2. The Eternals movie, which I'm very interested to see what they do, since it's going to span thousands of years and a lot of... I'm a big history buff, so this one has me the most intrigued out of the, theatrical releases. Confirmed for November 5th, 2021. The new Hawkeye series was announced with a teaser. Will feature Kate Bishop. No release date yet. She-Hulk was mentioned. Moon Knight. That's all that we already knew about. And then they had a couple of new shows, which was interesting. The first one being Secret Invasion, starring Nick Fury, Sam Jackson as Nick Fury, and bringing back Ben Mendelsohn, I believe his name is, as the Skrull Talos. So they're doing the Secret Invasion on Disney Plus. They're also doing a Ironheart Disney Plus show with Riri Williams, and another one that's I'm gearing up for, Armor Wars, with Don Cheadle as War Machine as the main character. Then
I need Don to have a line talking about getting back in the armor.
Then the last two things that they're making is a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which will be filmed alongside Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and release a couple of months before the release of Guardians 3 on the holiday season. And the last one will be a new Disney Plus TV show shorts, I Am Groot, about Baby Groot. They also mentioned yes they also mentioned Thor Love and Thunder will begin filming in January and release May 6, 2022. They also confirmed that Christian Bale is the villain, Gore the God Butcher. That right there got me hyped. They're also still in pre-production for Blade. They're going ahead with Blade, Mahershala Ali playing Blade, and Ant-Man 3 really got an official title, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It will introduce Cassie Lang and Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors. Also,
Gone over a lot of stuff here.
yeah,
There's a
and
lot to unwrap.
yeah, no, hold on, I got two more. Black Panther 2 has been confirmed for July 8th, 2022, and they have confirmed that they will not recast Chadwick Boseman. So Ryan Coogler is still working on the movie. So we got another year and a half or so till we see what he comes up with. And the final announcement, which is the Fantastic Four, is in development, directed by John Watts, which is the current director of the Spider-Man Marvel Sony trilogy, Homecoming, Far From Home, and whatever Spider-Man 3 is going to be. So, what do you gentlemen think?
I can chime in. One thing before I go ahead and give my actual thought. Since Stan Lee is gone, I'm going to need for them to go ahead and replace the Stan Lee cameos with Deadpool cameos, because I feel like they'd be more entertaining and it keeps the spirit alive.
I would have to agree.
If they could just go ahead and put Deadpool in a wig with a mustache and the glasses, that would be more than perfect to pay honor to Stan Lee. It would just be the best out of all things.
It would be hilarious, but I definitely agree with that.
The second thing, the Fantastic Four movie, I am hoping that this time they get it right. And, the only thing that I have to go off of them possibly getting it right, other than the Marvel movies being a hit after hit for, the past, I don't know, since the first Iron Man came out with Robert Downey Jr., I think this is the greatest chance for us to have a good Fantastic Four. No more turds in a movie 10.
Hey, I happen to like the first two Fantastic Four movies, which surprisingly was,
wrong for it.
It was.
So listen, all right. So from now on, I will never take any recommendations from you as far as.
Shut the hell up, man! I'm not saying this is good. They were good movies, but they were entertaining.
Wait, did you like Cyberpunk? I might have to change my opinion.
Yo, as long
it
as
was Jessica Alba,
as long as not the trash fire that was Fan Four Stick, the last one. Holy, I don't care what they give me. I'm pretty sure Marvel and Disney will put out a quality product when it comes to the Fantastic Four.
Oh man, look. All I'll say about the last movie is I have to commend the actors because they were given
they were given
they played the it was listen, it's like you take a SEAL team, it's like, listen, all right, here, this mission's gonna fail, so here's what we're gonna do. Instead of giving you any chance of success, John, you die first. David, you lament over John's death, and then it looks like you're gonna die, but then it's gonna be Steve.
I have to commend the actors because they were giving a fucking turd of a script to deal with, and they did their best. I mean, you could tell they tried, but there's no way that movie could have been saved.
Shiniest turd ever. But
no, it wasn't even a polished turd. It was just drop plop there. Somebody take this doggy bag, go walk around the park, and when you find one, not too soft, not too hard, just put it in the bag. We'll put it on reel. It'll go up on the silver screen. I know you all heard that splat when they threw it up there as soon as the movie started.
Oh my god, Sleepy, what you think? What are your thoughts?
Well, to be honest, everything you just listed. The only two things I'm really concerned about is, Fantastic Four. Hopefully a miracle can happen and actually make it that everybody goes, they turn around, get a thumbs up and that smile. That's all I'm asking. You make a crowd people do that? That's not too much to ask for, is it? And to pick the Scarlet Witch and the long list of comic book what the fuckery, I ask for one thing. Just one thing. Bring me back my boy Quicksilver. Let my man live. What? We got time travel. We had to find logic to a point of no return. Bring it back one guy. Come on, she lost so much. Give it back a brother at least.
Listen,
because the whole relationship Magneto is too much to explain for the average viewer.
Look, you can't bring Quicksilver back because he's not an X-Men. X-Men are the only ones that come back.
Wait. I have to stop you right there. But he is a mutant by association, who is consistently and constantly defying logic.
Yeah, like being more powerful when he was younger and like weaker when he was older, thanks to the movies.
Hey man, I like Quicksilver.
I just realized we need that dumpster fire that is the X-Men franchise to be fixed also.
Oh, absolutely.
Why are you fixing Fantastic Four? Can you go ahead? There's some extinguishers right there, Disney.
No,
They're right there.
listen. They picked Fantastic Four because I firmly believe that they have gotten the short end of the stick when it comes to the Fox properties. They basically only did a fucking film just to hold on to the rights. They did not care about that franchise. They was just make another movie so we can hold on to the rights and make money. That's it.
Well, look. All I'm saying is the reason I'm choosing X-Men over Fantastic Four is like as far as the fires go. X-Men, the house is still on fire. There's people still in there. We can save them. But Fantastic Four, there's ash. There's not even a foundation. It's been 2 weeks and it's rained one of them weeks. There's no more fire. It's over. There's nothing we can rebuild. Just pave over it. Start with something new.
No, you're absolutely wrong. There is rebuild. You're right in the fact that there's nothing there.
They're
but
all
now
dead. They are all dead.
but now it's a chance for rebirth. I'm telling you.
You're talking about going the Frankenstein route. With X-Men, we have people alive. They can still be saved.
Well, I mean, Deadpool is confirmed to start filming also first quarter of next year. I don't remember the exact date, but they're already working on the script and it will be rated R, so that's a plus.
You know, like, thanks to the whole COVID thing, like, you know, you said a lot of these things. I haven't been keeping up with it because I haven't gone to the movies this year. And I know a lot of these are things that are on Disney Plus and stuff, but I'm just not as connected as I used to be with this stuff. But, like, a couple of the shows that you said, they did sound interesting. I'm hyped for Moon Knight.
I'm interested in Armor Wars with Don
I was
Cheadle.
about to say, I'm interested in that. Part of me wants to see, but I know it's a horrible idea. Part of me wants to see Terrence Howard just randomly cameo in that.
It wouldn't be the first time someone who had a different role popped up as a different character.
Yeah,
so.
like I kind of just want him to be in there being like,
you took my
Terrence
spot.
Howard saying, "Man, you took my spot, man."
No. Terrence Howard, he has to be like the hot dog vendor.
Yeah,
And the suit spot body. He's gonna be like, man, I want one of them, man. I can see myself in one of them, man.
I'm curious of how that looked, but the one thing I would love them to do, because I take random ideas of comics and just toss in just for shits and giggles, like the Iron Patriot.
yeah.
The one thing I'd love to see, I don't care how, I don't care when, I would love to see Black Armor to pop up, a War Machine Armor to pop up, start just destroying everything. Help him out. Who the hell's in that suit? The Frank Castle's reported in the area. I don't see it. Wait. No. Who gave him a suit?
The Punisher with War Machine's armor? That'll be interesting.
Just because I would love to see him just for a brief cameo.
Speaking of that, because I heard something about them possibly actually bringing back the people from the Netflix series,
Which would be amazing because you are right. They did confirm Charlie Cox. Is that his name? The Daredevil. He's going to be in the next Spider-Man movie, and I know they're in talks of bringing. Forget his name, but the Punisher.
John Berthold, nigga. John Berthold. Remember the name, goddammit. That's my boy.
I remember the barking more than anything.
I remember the trail of bodies he left in his wake.
I remember that man just for when he made peace with himself at the beginning of his show, and then the demon was unleashed again. Like a man possessed.
They got those two. If they get those two and Luke Cage, everybody else can be scrapped. I'm happy.
You don't want the crybaby Iron Fist?
I don't want the crybaby back.
Iron Cry. Crybaby Fist.
Right. bro. I don't mind Jessica Jones getting a Wolverine cameo. Just chilling
I
there
don't
drinking to
mind
punch
Jessica
somebody.
Jones. I don't mind Jessica Jones, but I really don't want that Iron Fist. You know what? I want everybody else from the show Iron Fist back except Iron Fist. Like,
It's like he never read the comics. Oh,
I really don't know whether or not that was just his bad acting or the script. And I'm
no.
him. Like,
You gotta know it's the bad acting, because look at the other
to be the
shows
bad
they
acting
did.
Also, it has to be the bad acting. But I'm like, I don't know. But also part of the script pissed me off because I was like, yo, why is he the only one? People will steal this bastard's power and be like, I got 2 fists. He's still sitting there. I got this one. I've been harnessing this power for years, and I got this 1 fist. I'm like, bruh. Like, dude stole your powers and immediately had 2 fists glowing. Like, what is your problem? Like, okay.
You know what's bad when compared to someone like Jessica Jones who has durability, super strength, and barely uses it, and extremely lazy about it. And her only ability she has to master really is flight, and just because she doesn't really give a damn. In comparison, that is horrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
This man actually had a proper masters teach him.
Yeah. He had masters teach him, and he still didn't realize my hand doesn't actually need to be in the form of a fist. Just because my name is Iron Fist. Like,
that's
you
why
can't
I
make
said
your hand glow as a hand? Like, just being a hand?
that's why I
bro.
said this man didn't
We
read
done.
the comics, because like in the comics, Iron Fist, he don't just keep that 1 fist. He realizes that ability stretches far. He can go ahead
This is
and
the
make
reason
illusions
why I
and
was
shit.
saying it might not just be the actor, it might be part of the writing and they just wrote him as a bad Iron Fist because other people in the show got his powers and used them better.
Well, yeah, but let me tell you something. As far as Iron Fist is concerned, we got a replacement coming in Shang-Chi. I can't wait to see that shit.
I don't know that much about that, but I know you said 10 rings.
Shang-Chi
what
and the
I
Legend
think
of the
it is?
10 Rings. Yes, Mandarin. Yes.
Yes.
And remember, they did leave a hint at the end of Iron Man 3 that there's a possibility that actually is a real one.
That's
Yeah,
honestly, the fact that they did
with the short with Ben Kingsley, when he was the fake Mandarin, they had a short where he was in prison and the dudes told him that the real Mandarin doesn't like you using his name. Like, they confirmed that the real Mandarin is out there.
Yeah, they did, but I'm not gonna lie. When they pulled that stunt in that movie, I was officially like pissed off with Iron Man movies.
You're not the only one.
I was officially like, oh, it's over.
Like that closed a lot of doors, because like if they were gonna go ahead and treat one of Iron Man's main enemies as a joke, like I just knew there's never gonna be a Fing Fang Foom.
Yeah, exactly.
Gray. Speaking of that, spoilers: Fing Fang Foom is appearing in Shang-Chi.
Listen, I won't let you raise my hopes, okay? I won't let you piss on my head and tell me it's raining, all right? Now, if you think you can get away with that, this friendship's over.
Hey man, I'm just reporting what's been confirmed. All right, that's what I'm doing. I'm relaying the information. What you choose to do with it is your business.
What I choose to do with it is, if I don't see any proof of Fing Fang Foom in 2 days, I'm going to be under your bed.
Okay. So moving on to the Star Wars shit.
Hold on, wait. Before we move on, just want to make just say 2 more things. One, with the Ironheart thing, I don't know the name of the girl that's supposed to be playing Ironheart, but I love looking at her picture. So that's got me hopeful for Ironheart, even though I hate the comic book.
Yeah, the comic book was terrible, but I really think that they'll do a good job. And the chick who's playing Riri Williams. Let me see if I have her name here. Dominique Thorne. That's her name. Oh my gosh, she looks so beautiful.
Are you sure it's not Dominique Dick?
Shut up, man. All right,
and then the other thing is, with the actors from the Marvel series minus Crying Fist and the development of Moon Knight, I really, really, really want the interaction between Punisher and Moon Knight to be on the silver screen. It's like one specific comic book where Punisher greets Moon Knight and he's like, "Hey, Moon Knight, still crazy?" And Moon Knight's like, "Yeah, sorta. Your family's still dead?" I just want that back and forth.
I don't know. You never know. You might get it because they did say any of the Disney Plus Marvel series they will cross over with the movies and they do tie in. So we'll see what happens.
I really feel like I'm gonna be investing in Disney Plus because I haven't yet, but this stuff's.
Well,
I love all these series the way it sounds, and I'm gonna be glued to this.
Oh, okay. So here's my recommendation because I watch all 3 hours of that investors call, and that's 3 hours of my life that I will not get back. But they did say that there will be at least 100 pieces of content per year starting next year for Disney Plus, original content. So it's going to be a lot. Speaking of Disney content, the Star Wars one, I'm just gonna list them out, and then you guys tell me which one you are interested in based on the releases. So we already know about the Mandalorian. They have 2 spin-off shows. Is the Rangers of the New Republic. It's based off the X-Wing fighters that appear in The Mandalorian, and they have Ahsoka, Anakin Skywalker's apprentice. There are 2 shows that they're doing for Disney Plus, spin-offs of The Mandalorian. I'm really only interested in the Ahsoka one because Rosario Dawson is my bitch, and she was awesome in that episode.
She really was.
Next up, they have Andor. A Disney Plus series, Andor, Star Wars Andor, which is Andor Calrissian. It's going to be created by, this series is going to be created by Tony Gilroy, the creator of the Bourne trilogy. You know, Bourne Identity, Jason Bourne. Also,
it keeps that same energy. It should be good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Also, they showed some behind the scenes on Obi-Wan Kenobi. They confirmed that Hayden Christensen, the young Anakin Skywalker, will return as Darth Vader, which means that there's gonna be parts with his helmet off, and you will see his burnt and disgusting face, and it will be Hayden Christensen, and it will be set 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. Also, Ewan McGregor is coming back as Obi-Wan.
So I have a question real quick, not to sidetrack you, but I saw something that I definitely should have read, but I meant to read it, but then I got sidetracked myself about the stuff that they're doing now, opening a possibility of bringing Starkiller into the actual fold. Like,
it's a possibility. Canon. It's a possibility.
I would not mind that because I absolutely love that game. I love the character that Starkiller was and his development.
Yeah. So hold that thought. Just hold
go ahead.
Hold that thought.
He's still here. All right.
So don't drop any finishing protocols.
There is a new animated couple of new animated shows for Star Wars. One of them is called The Bad Batch, Star Wars The Bad Batch. It's after Order 66. It's going to be based on the clones, the Boba Fett, Jango Fett clones from Force 99. It's going to be after Revenge of the Sith. And also they have Visions. It's an animated shorts anthology from the leading studios in Japan, anime studios. So basically just like the Animatrix, if you remember that.
That's up my alley then.
That's a maybe. For some reason, I'm not really that hype about the Bad Batch.
So yeah, well, the Bad Batch is gonna be in 3D animated. It's kind of a sequel to the
Okay, it's
Clone
gotta be
Wars.
now. Okay, I love 3D animation. All right,
No,
let's
no,
go.
no, no, you don't get the back pedal.
Yeah, I do get the back pedal.
No, you weren't interested.
Also,
Yeah, until you said 3D animation. Now I'm with it. All right, let's go.
all right. So also they're doing a Lando Calrissian show. Then they're doing
That is up there with Ahsoka for me.
yeah. Then there is a new show called A Droid Story, kind of a playoff of a Toy Story with R2D2 and C3PO on a special mission with a newly introduced character. They did not say who it was. Then there is an unnamed Star Wars movie being developed by Taika Waititi after he finishes Thor: Love and Thunder. And there's going to be another film called Rogue Squadron, directed by Patty Jenkins, which is in development, the director of Wonder Woman. And then the last one was interesting, but then I saw the name that was attached to it and it kind of made me skeptical. But the last one is called The Acolyte. It is a mystery thriller set in the final days of the High Republic era, in which secrets of the dark side will be unveiled. And it is being written and produced by Leslie Headland. So that's that one sounds very interesting, but it's Leslie Headland. Like, I'm not even gonna go in to her because that's a whole nother topic in itself. But I kind of
You don't want to talk about how she killed franchises, murdered them heartlessly with her own agendas.
Yeah, well, yeah, you don't already called it out, but yeah, we could save that for another topic. But this one,
saying, you don't throw something. That's a softball, sir. I'm hitting that shit out in the park. You're not getting away with that.
So this is kind of makes me be cautious, but it sounds interesting. So what are you guys' thoughts?
All right, so I will say this much: I am looking forward to the new iteration of Darth Vader, and the only reason is because I've fallen out of love with Star Wars because of all the even before New Hope, like the prequels, the pre-sequels,
the
everything
prequels.
outside of the two, everything outside of the two original movies. I was three, sorry, the originals I'm alright with. The rest of them,
Listen, I prefer the prequel trilogy to the sequel trilogy, the shit fire that we got.
Look, again, it's all just gone downhill. It's become more and more garbage, and don't like that Garbo. So, but I have kept up with the comics.
Yeah,
and I would kill to see any of the comic book adaptations on the silver screen, simply because, have you guys read any of the Solo Vader comics where he's actually going around doing missions and not
yes, those are.
Oh my god,
they're being published by Marvel. Those are fucking awesome.
Yeah, and the reason I bring those up is because I remember the imagery of Vader, where his group decided that you know what, the best idea right now is to betray him. Let's go ahead and stab Vader in the back. And Vader, we have you surrounded. And it's the only thing I'm surrounded by is fear and death. And he takes out an entire, I'm talking a massive army sent there to kill him. Gone, done, you're over. You can't do nothing to me.
Let's face it, we would all love to see that. Man, not only animated, but I would love to see that in a movie. To me, as much as I'm okay with the first basically 6. I know you don't like the prequel, but as much as those were popular, I still wanted more action in them. And if we got a good, long, hefty movie with a lot of Vader scenes, oh my god, that would be amazing.
Well, it's not a movie. He's appearing in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, so I still have hope.
I wish that was a movie though. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I still have hope because The Mandalorian is fucking awesome, and I truly believe that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni know what the hell they're doing. Now, with that being said, you should have seen Kathleen Kennedy's face when she's introducing these shows, the disdain in her micro features, you could just tell that she's trying so hard to maintain a neutral stance while announcing some of these things. And none of them, not any one of these properties, has anything to do with the sequel trilogy. It was complete and utter silence on the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Oh my god! Look, I can see it now because like she's just sitting there, and then we're gonna have. There's no female lead in this one. I mean, I'm sorry.
Sleepy, what do you think? Whoa, anything you're looking forward to out of all the ones we listed for Star Wars?
Well, I haven't exactly fallen out with Star Wars, but I more or less felt they really just turned their back on what made everything great originally and just stopped giving a crap. So at that point, I kind of did the same to them. But the future does sound promising, and I do like that they did animated shorts because Gray Zero, we were on a discussion from before, I believe a few months ago, for the at that 2D animated series of how they showed the clone troopers what they do when they're
Hell yeah.
You tell me you give me a short or a movie with just the clone troopers just following the orders and beating the shit out of everything and making sense why cloning one man for the army is actually a good thing. In the movie, I think they didn't do a good job explaining that and showing it to us that this is a great plan.
Oh yeah, like we were talking about the Star Wars Clone Wars series. It was like one particular scene where like they were getting swarmed by the robot army, and like he was trying to give orders, like we just need you to, and he's like shooting around all of them, and then like finally after he like tried to get this sentence out 10 times, they're like, just shoot over there. Like, oh, I loved it.
Well, all main characters, Jedis, were getting the shit beat out of them by Grievous, but a couple of clone troopers were wrecking everything. And even when the Jedi's be like, "Let's go, we gotta go back, sir, Jedi Master, sir, yes, you see over here? Oh no, other masters are injured. Exactly, sir. It's not good. We have to get them. What's more important? Kill not one asshole or protecting our people. Good choice, sir. Come on, boys, let's go."
Nah, but that's why I'm interested in the Bad Batch, Star Wars Bad Batch, because it's based on those clone troopers after Order 66, which means that they're rogues. They're not. They probably didn't follow the orders. So,
I think that the movie should touch upon, even some brief, that some of them didn't want to do it or discussed that even happened.
possibly.
But I kind of just glance over that.
That definitely sounds interesting to me. I'm still just Ahsoka and Lando. Like, you know, those are the two that I'm mainly thinking about personally.
Yeah, same here. Well, leave your comments down below on if anybody's interested in any of these releases or announcements on Star Wars or Marvel. So, Gray, we're getting into manga. What you got for us this week?
So,
Lou, I just want to say fuck you, sir, because it seems like you asked everybody's opinion but mine. I know that Gray is ready to dry snitch, but it's not going to happen today. On the Star Wars note.
All right. Go ahead, sir. Say your piece. On
the Star Wars note, what I'm interested to see is how Obi-Wan does. That's the most interesting to me. Mm-hmm. Everything else is good. The clones, mm-hmm. You know, I made the analogy where, you know, pretty much they cloned John Wick. They made an entire army of him. And that's where those soldiers came from. Because he, who did they clone again?
Jango Fett.
Jango Fett.
So the greatest of the greatest, they made an army of clones of that man. Mm-hmm. And I'm just sitting there like, you know, that's just literally just John Wick. And let's make clones of him. Like, whose idea was this? Because if they ever decide to go rogue, we're going to have some problems.
Apparently the Senate and the government. But it still goes, if you want to, all right, we need an army of the better soldier. She called a well-known bounty hunter. Yes, the bounty hunter. Just because he hunts bounties doesn't mean anybody ever hunted deserved it or was a challenge. She could be an asshole for all we know, sir. He's the best of the best. Sure nobody else want to do this?
There's a whole group of y'all, but are any of you working? Like, just check it. Like, just,
Oh, this nigga. Really? You gonna join and start complaining? Go ahead, Lou.
All right,
Go ahead and
great.
finish it off with our manga.
Moving on to manga. Great. What do you got for us this week as our main topic, manga?
All right, so first off, we're switching it up this week. Instead of me having 3 mangas to go ahead and discuss with you guys, for time's sake, to make it easier on our editor, Lou, we will be talking about one manga, and I will be giving... We're going to talk about one manga, and then I'll give one manga recommendation for the viewers to look into. So the first one I'm going to talk about is an action, adventure, fantasy, romance manga.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the genres it's under. Action, adventure, fantasy, and romance.
There's
And
no
the
romance in that damn manga. But go ahead.
the girl that he said...
didn't read it.
All right.
Name?
So the author is Tsukichi, and the artist is Peroshi.
You didn't say the name.
The title of the manga. Lou's gonna say it because the only thing I can say out of this is skill. Skill is 25, and I want you to say the whole thing. Wait, I can say skill 25, no, and Akira.
Okay. Let me deep breath. Okay, so the name of the manga, Japanese name is Yukadatsu Skill ni Jinsei o Sosogikomi 25 nen Amasara Sakiyo no Bokentan Midori Kashi no Akira. That translates to adventure tale of pouring 25 years of life into a useless skill, and now after all that time is the strongest. Or the man devoted 25 years to the weakest skill, restore, finally he got the strongest one.
Yeah, so as the translated title suggests, the main plot of this story is a man, as a young adventurer, he had what was considered a weak skill. In this world, everyone gets a skill at a certain age, and that's what they use for their livelihood, be it an adventurer or like some type of crafting skill. His was restore, and all he could really do with that is what it says, restore things. And because it was the base level 1 of the skill, the most that he could do with it is like fix his chip sword. He can't like restore it all the way, or like he could mend his clothes or something. Nothing really major. Now, where the plot in the story starts to come in is he spends time as an adventurer. He's got a childhood friend where she has like a more powerful skill. I think she was like sword heroine or something. She got like basically a skill that adventurers would want to have in their party. She would be a good attacker and everything. Monsters attack his town. As an adventurer, he's trying to defend. She tags along with them. They get surprise attacked, and she suffers a almost fatal wound. And the only way to save her is main character's grandfather has a skill that can like just stop time for her. She'll be in a state where she's not dead, but she's fucking frozen forever. It's on the character to go ahead and level up his restoration skill so that he can put her back to a moment in time where she wasn't injured and she can go ahead and continue living. So, again, he spends 25 years leveling this skill up, doing everything he can to get it to the point where it is, and when he finally gets it leveled up, it is the most broken thing on the planet, because the base level of the skill, after reading through it, he can use the skill 10 times in an hour. That means once every 6 minutes, or like after he uses it a certain number of times, he's got to wait like an hour for it to recover. It's not really clear, but, you know, plot sort of ignores that rule for reasons. But again, once he levels it up, 1, he can cure his friend. 2, he can restore anything. Broken sword that's been like rusted for 75 years, he can make it perfect just like that. Like, the skill ends up being broken, and I love the way that the story just shows how people treated him because they still think his skill is useless. But he can save lives and lives if he wants to. Like, a good example, one time he used a skill with some adventurers that were just being, you know, rude to him for no reason. Sleepy, you were talking about this part a lot. But they decided to pick a fight with him out of nowhere, and they used his level up skill just to restore him to a point where they were drunk. They couldn't walk and fight anymore. Like,
it's not the point that the three opponents to show off his ability. It's the point that they just started shit for no reason. Man was just walking through the room.
Nah, one of my favorite
Well,
parts is when he went into the store and he dropped on 3 copper pennies, the 3 copper coins. He's like, what sword can I get with this? This rusty old piece of junk. Thank you. Restore. Shiny, brand new.
Owner was like, wait a minute.
That shit was dope. And he kept his best friend in the closet for 25 years because she's
the one that was frozen in time.
Yeah, she was I think his grandfather's skill was called stagnation. So he basically froze her time, and if he unfreezes her, in that moment she'll die. So he had to power up his skills. But go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, like I love the development of the characters. Now this one, it is a short one. It's only 12 chapters, but it does update on regular intervals. Not regularly. This isn't like a weekly update, but like, maybe monthly. Get some new chapters. 12th chapter was the newest one. I absolutely loved it, and the way that the story has been put. That 12th chapter is more of a prologue. Like the first 12 chapters, it looks like a prologue to me. I leave it up to you readers to go ahead and see what I'm talking about. But the way that the 12 chapters ended, it's such a lovely payoff, and it's like this is the beginning. That's the tone that it's setting. So that's why I say these first 12 chapters are definitely just a prologue. It's not like the official prologue. It's what I'm getting from reading it, but it's something I absolutely love.
Okay, and y'all missed a very important part about his powers. He can use it on inanimate objects, or now once he gets the level up, living things. That's how he was able to save his childhood friend. There's 2 parts in the manga that I like where he once made this older elf into a younger elf so she could use her more potent spells when she was younger. That was very interesting. I didn't know he can bring an entire person.
Oh yeah, he restored her back
to 25.
Yeah, he restored her back to the point in time where her mana was the strongest.
And that's permanent. She doesn't go back to 50. She is now a 25-year-old person until she has to relive her older days, which is awesome. So he can use it on inanimate things and also living things.
Shit, you forgot. I'm sorry to cut you off, Greg, but you forgot. He thought about using it on himself when he brought back his friend.
Yeah, so like, one thing I want to touch on that Zero said, the difference between the initial skill and the level up skill. His initial skill, the wording for it is he could use it on items. That means just inanimate objects. And then like when he leveled it up, he could use it on targets, which means he could target anything.
Right.
So like that whole target difference, it doesn't seem like much as far as language is concerned, but like, again, another example of the ability that he used. He went to a blacksmith friend of his, and he asked him for like some really old, crusty, dusty armor that he could not fix. And his friend's like, "What would you want this for?" And he restored it in front of him. And he's like, "Think of the possibilities." And he's like, "Wait, how far does this skill go?" He's like, "Do you have any armor that's heavily damaged?" He's like, "Here's a piece of armor. It's got like a chunk taken out of it. I just replaced it with leather." And he restored it. That leather was gone. The metal was back. He's like, "So listen, man, if you got any broken dragon mail around, I can just go ahead and keep bringing it back." He's like, I'll search to the ends of the earth. Like, it's a broken skill. That he used it to heal himself. He can go ahead and go from critically damaged and fatigued to 100% ready to go again. You out of breath in this fight?
That is broken if you applied the shit correctly. I mean, just imagine that type of skill, man. Oh, damn.
Like, I will admit, I love broken characters in manga, but like I loved balance broken. And since I brought that up, I'm gonna try and have a specific type of topic for whenever I bring up mangas from now on. And so, like, I'm just say right now before I talk about the next manga, my topic is going to be broken characters. One example is going to be one done horribly wrong, but I still enjoy the read, and one's going to be done horribly right. So I'm going to try and keep that nice balance with that. Does anyone else have anything they want to say about this manga?
Nah, I think we've said enough.
I look forward to the future reading, and I hope it continues to be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a payoff on that at the end of the 12th chapter. There's a lovely payoff.
And for our recommendation of today's episode, what you got for us?
Shit, I forgot the name of it. The Undefeatable Swordsman. There we go.
Damn, come on, man.
I was like, it
And
was
the
there,
one
and then
that
it
you
was
could say
gone.
too, nigga, and you forgot.
I said it was there, and then it was gone. I don't know what happened. But now I realized I don't have the author anymore, or the artist. Hold on, I gotta pull it up again. My bad. Anybody got anything they want to say?
Yeah, I got you on this one, Gray. Don't worry. The author is original by Jok Ha and adapted by Fistcat, and the artist is Kim Chan Yong.
All right, much appreciated. So, synopsis for this story: it's set in a world where it's action, adventure, fantasy, and it's set in a world of, I'd say, moderate cultivation. It's not like hyper focused on cultivation where the main character's got to get all these ingredients and break through to the next level and whatnot. It's more like a Miram world of cultivation. They use ki, they use moves, they learn different styles, and like there's these different factions in the world. But the main character, you don't see the main character until about 2 or 3 chapters in. It starts off with his father actually showing like the life that he went through and how he ended up marrying his wife and then settling in an inn. And after they settle in the inn with his wife, now mind you, the father, in order to get his wife, he asked her to marry her, I think, 125 times.
No, he has to ask her for her hand 128 times. Not marry her. Ask her for her hand. She denied
Propose.
him
It's the same
100
thing. I said he asked to marry. It's a proposal.
I think it's 100. It's 120, 121, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous amount. Almost, it's like, nah, she still got lower standards than the women of today.
You ain't lying, nigga.
But yeah, he asked her about 100 or so times to marry him, and eventually she did. They settled down. They opened an inn, and then like they had 2 children, 2 boys. The oldest son, he had like a weaker constitution than his brother. Like the youngest son, he had an okay constitution, and like they had dreams of becoming warriors, and like they tried to strengthen themselves up as best they could, and they had an opportunity to be scouted by some warriors. The younger brother was taken because the warriors could see that the older brother, he had this weak constitution. He was actually sick. He wasn't going to be good to become a warrior. So the older brother says it's fine for his younger brother to go. He believes in him. He needs to go ahead and build himself a bright future. But again, he's a little kid. He's actually hurt by this. He just doesn't show it for just to save face in front of his brother to let him know, hey, it's okay to leave me. I don't mind. Now, after this event, how do I describe the guy? Xero, how would you describe the guy that's just... There you go.
A floating nigga that's a ghost. And he's just sitting there floating. And
He
if
wasn't a
common
ghost.
Person, he looked like a ghost nigga. He was white and he was floating. And we're not talking about skin color white. We're talking about a bright light. It's at night, and you have a floating visitor come down as I said, a person of color. Nah, nigga, we're not doing that. You have a good day, you go somewhere else. This inn is closed tonight.
Zero would have missed out. Yes, a great sage showed up, and he just said to her, "Hey, I'm hungry. Might you guys be open?" And like, they're like, "That's a great sage. We need to serve him. We need to serve him." So like the sage, they feed him, and like he doesn't have any money, but for payment, he makes a painting. Now, this is a very important plot point because that painting, what the sage has done, he saw that the oldest son was sick. And like he knew a method to heal him. It was a cultivation method, a martial art that the kid would have to learn, but it couldn't be taught exactly. He made the painting so that when the kid would look at it, he could learn through the painting. And that this was years that he became infatuated with this painting. He stared at it every day, and his parents thought he was an invalid and useless, and like something went wrong with him.
The town fool from the way they describe him.
Mm-hmm. And like this carried on until like the dad got an opportunity. Another martial artist showed up, and he saw value in the painting, and like he sort of understood why the kid was staring at it, but there was never really a correlation because he never saw the kid. He just like saw in the painting like, this is deeper meaning. I need this. I must have it. And like he decided to buy it from the father, which led to the kid being like, "Yo, where's my painting?" And this is what spurred his adventure on, because he ran after the martial artist that bought the painting. They fought. His key was unlocked, and like he was more or less cured. And this is like the road to him becoming a martial artist without like actually being a traditional martial artist. He doesn't have a master, but he's learned this art from this sage, and it's opened his world up. He's no longer just an invalid staring at a painting. He's got ki, he's fixing himself, and like he's going out in the world. Instead of staying in the house with his parents staring at a painting, he's going out. He's trying to get a job. He's trying to better himself. He started exercising. He started learning a martial art from the martial artist. He learned some foot techniques. And like it's just the story follows him on his now adulthood adventure. And it's like an adventure of development. Like there's so many ridiculous things. And I say absolutely ridiculous because it's like,
Yep.
gentlemen, you want to jump in, point out some ridiculousness you've seen? Any moments you remember?
I haven't really read this one. I'm intrigued. So
his example, the point of, remember when he said, when Gray said earlier that he doesn't technically have an actual master, he just learns. He has got examples from other people. They kind of pointed him in the right direction. Best way to put it. Upon watching two people have a martial arts fight, he used what he learned, from what he just witnessed, and for a few basic steps he learned, to use an ability to save a shit ton of people.
Oh yeah, that palm technique.
And it happened so quickly that only people of master class noticed what he even done. Everybody said, "Huh, the guy must have just killed himself."
Yeah, so he is a visual learner, and you remember in Dragon Ball Z when Krillin and Gohan were traveling to Namek, and they were doing the mental training. He does that on steroids, and he does it at a rate to where he creates new techniques in his mind and tries them out. So by the time that he actually does the technique, it's damn near master.
that sounds broken as fuck. I'm reading that tonight.
It does.
So when you supposed to read it before, you had a week. You had a week.
And when he has like a sick constitution, he looks like frail and sickly. Upon just looking at this photo like an idiot until he actually looked at it and meditated, you see his body get fit and actually healthy. Which, if you've known him, how does this sickly frail boy get muscle? All he does is work in the end. This does not add up.
Yeah, and like this manga has one of my favorite tropes, and it's like where the weak bully idiots decide to pick a fight with the strong main character and they don't know. It's like the cannon fodder thing where like the author needs to throw some moron in front of the main character to show his growth, show how powerful he's become. Like I absolutely love that trope when it's done right. Like the way that this manga does it is just these guys are bad guys, are shown to be bad guys, they're shown to have ill intent, and then like they just shown to be spiteful. And then they'll like show back up. The main character is like, you know what? I'm going to punch you in the face. It's like, what? You can't do that. It's like, no, I can't. Watch. Punch, punch, punch. It's like, why? Please stop, sir. It's like, no. You're evil. I'm going to punch you in the face some more.
Well, that is definitely interesting. I'm going to start reading that bitch tonight. Well,
You had a week. You had a week.
yes, I know, God damn it. But that's all we got for today. Any last thoughts, gentlemen?
There is a new boxer, gentlemen. So get to reading.
Oh yeah, we talked about the boxer at length. Oh my god, the character development in that is ridiculous.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. This is the RCP Crew plus War Bandit, our special guest. Thank you for joining us today.
That's right, you ain't part of the crew.
No problem.
Not
Thank
yet.
you for having me.
We have to haze him. He has to go through the proper channels, exams. But yeah,
It was
First
fun,
task,
though.
bring me a PS5.
Look. I was in a hotel this weekend and I saw somebody walk in with one. I could have called you.
Oh, the fact that you didn't, you cut off. Oh, there's also a new weak hero, gentlemen.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
nice.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Later.
all right, guys. Thank you for listening, guys. Comment down below if you're watching or listening on YouTube. Leave a comment. Join our Discord. You can talk to us directly. Join the shenanigans, and we'll see you on the next one. We is out.